Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to part 16 of the Enterprise NX-01 build. Today we're going to actually start working on the lower saucer lighting. This will be part 1 of that, so let's go over the bench and get started. But anyway, where we're getting out with the flashers, I have, like I said, the navigation LEDs are there and ready. But this is what Gary suggested with doing the 1.8 millimeters. You piggyback them on top of each other, give them both a 90-degree angle, making sure the plus, you know, if it's a plus and if it's a positive and negative, and you're bending that one this way, the other one you're going to do positive and negative and bend the opposite way, so they lay on top of each other with light shining one way and one shining the other way. Let me see if I turn on the camera light, if you can see it better. I don't know. I kind of got to get it like that, but they're soldered like that, piggybacking each other. So, yeah, it's not going to focus for that because this doesn't really have an autofocus. But basically, you're going to solder them right on top of each other, and I don't know if I can get something dark, but that's basically what they're doing. One's bending up like this and the other one's bending down like that, and they're piggybacking positive and negative like that. And you change the distance for how they're going to sit in the hole. And the bottom hull is a little wider than the top hull, just by a little bit. And that's why these walls are angled here on the side of the ship. And so then when I put this one here, the inner one is just in, and it should shine up hopefully by the other hole. Now it's trying to figure out that distance. Let me turn the light off because that's going to burn my battery up. It's trying to find that distance, and I'm still not sure if I'm 100% correct with what I did, but by putting the saucer together, you know, it's pretty much that the edge of this lip is about where that bulb and those parts are. So what I did is, so like this edge here, if you could cut through, it's about right where that is. And I'll be able to tweak them. I'll be able to bend it a hair. You know, even if it's anchored like that, I'll be able to move it like this, the upper one. I'll do some dry tests and give it a, you know, before we permanently glue it down. I'll have some space, you know, I won't solder all the way up to that bend, just to give me the ability to bend the LED this or that way. It's the only thing I can think of trying, you know, there's no way to measure because it's so thick, and you know, you can't see this one through there, so I kind of had to look at it and see where, and the edge of that ship lip is about where that piece is. You know, I guess you could try to measure the difference from here to here, but that part's not quite out there, you know what I mean? Those holes are right at the bottom of where the walls touch the bottom of the saucer, so it's kind of like I gotta see how this lip lies, and it lies, like I said, it seems to be just a skosh shy, but it seems to be pretty much lining. So now I'm not lined up. There it is. It's pretty much with a little bit of a whoop over lining up on those windows, or on this. So if you figure, so what I did is I just kind of went and put this, it's kind of hard, now I can do it this way I guess. What I kind of did is laid them on top side by each other, line that one up with the hole, and then this one should, line up right at this lip, just shy of it. And I can even bend and adjust that too. And I think that will give me, you know, like that wall edge here is going to lie right in there. And I want to be just shy of that. And I might have to pull this in a little more. No, not that much. I think if I give that the proper 90-degree angle. Well, let me get them soldered while I have them clipped together, and then I can give them the correct 90-degree. That's top either way. But I think I'll have some leeway to mess with. So, do I want this in the way? And then how I'm going to attach them to the bottom, I'm not quite sure. Because I don't even think he tells you. And Norton's don't tell me about how many people have been attacked by blah blah blah. I think he's just got them laying down and hot glued and its end. But I might try to stick a not too fond of that. I might try to stick a piece of styrene underneath that one, so when it sits, and he kind of has them like just laying like that, and that could throw my alignment out. Like if I do that and stick a piece of sprue there, but it's all gonna be close because I might have to put even a more tighter angle on that because it's tight, and I'm seeing that that's sitting a little high. So I think that's what we got to do before we even solder that. Gotta rebend this one. Just something you don't want to do because it's hard to get them flat again. And you don't want to keep bending metal because, yeah, but I got to get that bend right at the LED. Let's see if I can do this. Try to get the tightest little bend there. I think that's better. A little better. Use your table as like a square. Try to flatten them back out. Try to get these nice. I think, and these are kind of curving in now too. Use this tool, see if I can get this straightened out here. At least the other one, I know what I need to do. And then we're going to have to readjust to the top again. But I think that got it tighter. Oh, I see. That might work too. That'll solve. Yeah. I see what Gary did. What he also did is the one that's going to point up, he has coming from the bottom and it sticks up between them. That shortens the height on that one. And it's just going to be to get these to tighten up together. That's going to be the key. But that also makes me lose some of my play and moving it back and forth. But I got it a little more tighter by bringing this one up and under instead of just laying it on top. Because it's tight. There's not going to be much room at all. Now I just want to try to get the distance, and then we're going to have to try it and see if it works. Let's go with the top again here. I'm probably off camera, but apologize. Let's say that's a lip. We're going to want to bring that almost up to the little flat spots that are in these anodes and cathodes. They kind of have that little flat piece, like it's almost crimped. I'm going to go with that there. Now the tricky part is going to be able to hold everybody together. Rather than be on top of each other. Let's try and remember what's what. Since you came. Shorter one should be on top of the other one. I mean, it's not a big deal. Alright? They want to ride side by side on each other. But that's okay. All they got to do is make connection when I solder them. If that's the way it's going to work, that's the way it's going to work. And it's because I warped the other ones out of shape. Look at it again. Hope. I mean, it's always able to be unsoldered. This looks like I can push this up a little more. Then they want to spring apart. I might have to solder one leg at a time. We're going to try. We're going to try it. We'll just tack it first. Hot still. I'm gonna try to leave it not soldered way down there by the LED, so I can kind of give them a shift and a tweak. Now boy, will this light up with a 3mm bulb with the two of them? Not enough juice. It could be just might not be enough power to do both. But you think I could get it to switch on which one it's. See if I can catch just the inner two. No, that's worrying me that only one wants to light up. is always the same one, no matter which. I'm just afraid that I'm going to hook all this up. I might have a bad LED. Alright, we know those two are working. But it might just be because there's not enough voltage. But why are you letting it choose? I want to switch. What one? Like, how is it choosing which one to glow? That's pretty interesting. If I go way out here, I think the direct, I think at one point it would choose that one. We're going to have to just have faith in that. Or try the same with the other and see if it does the same with the other. Because it might just be because they need 4 volt. Yeah, say if these are 2 volts each, it would need 4 volts. You know, but you think the one would be dim, or they both would be dim, or something. I would think. Let's see if I can just do a false test without soldering. Let's see if I can. I bet you that's what it is. Let's see if I can. Just by holding these together. Yeah, see there, I'm getting both. And that worries me. Now I'm going to unsolder and find out what happened, because something's not right. It should be interesting. Something's not right. How I unsolder this. Get them to fall apart. That is the question. Wouldn't be so hard if they were, if I did do it where they were. Attach. Get one side not attached. It's easier to get the other one not to be attached. There we go. Alright, that one we know was working, if I remember correctly. But why you aren't, I have no idea. Alright, there you are. Oh, that would be why. Shorten it across the metal. Alright, so they are both working. Or were. Oh, unless I do have them backwards. I could have the prongs backwards. That's working. I was positive I had the positive. I could have had them backwards. I could have had it looped wrong. Maybe so when I flip them. No. This one's going to be this way, and this one's going to be this way. Long prong, long prong. What's going on here? That if I try to do it like that, it's like grinding the top of that, the tops of these bulbs down. This is going to be way too high. Yeah, it's going to be boom when the other one comes down. So we have to do this. Why were we getting a weird result? Completely trusting this LED. See that? See that? I haven't messed with anything. If I tap it, we got a loose diode here, see? That's not a good thing. It's definitely not a good thing. I shouldn't have to flick it to start. That one starts right away. That worries me, I think. Oh, you're kidding me. Now I'm going to start thinking of a different way to do this. Because I don't have another one of these. But I shouldn't have to flick it. Oh, well that's the time it's because you're backwards. I shouldn't have to flick it. I got a lot of terminal on there, unless it's shorting. Yeah. No. We're going to go about this a different way. You know what I'm thinking? Even though I hate blasting a light at the window, thinking about laying one on both saucers like that. I think that is going to be the way to do it. Taking a 3mm, going like that. I just like something pointing up at it better. But a 3mm would be way too big. To do that. That one comes on right away. That sucks. Because I like when the light points down at it because it gives it such a better focus of light coming through than when you lay a 3mm on its side. Oops. Unless I set it back a bit. Let's see how much brighter it gets when you go like that. I mean, I can do the same principle with yeah, I can't believe that one's just not, and I don't trust it to put it in the ship. If it can't, if it doesn't just fire up, and I don't know if that's just always been a bad LED or what. Or bending it caused an issue. Another thing I noticed is when I look up inside it, this one I can see like a yellow, like fully. This one I don't. There's like a corner of it. When you look directly at the dome, it's missing. It's not yellow. I can't even get it to turn on now. Like I'm pushing like the diode, so there's something loose in here. And see, that's funny because that's not the one I double bent. The one I double bent was this one, and that one's working. Yeah, I'm not trusting that. But B, I'm disappointed if I have to do that. Because that's not going to give me the brightness I really want. I mean, it's not bad, but I like that. I like that brightness over that. Especially with a bright red LED there. I mean, I could kind of do a little something like that. Maybe. Pull it back. But still, I run in that situation where when the top one comes over, am I going to have a crunch? You know? Unless I can do something like this. Turn my light back on. Sorry about this, folks. Thought we would have something going here by now. Unless on the bottom I run 3mm, and then the top I run that. That's figuring out. Trying to figure out that distance without banging into the yeah, I'm so disappointed. And I use that other spare for the other one for that spotlight in the front. Or do I just go straight up SMD LEDs? And will that control board control that? That'd be the easiest way, because it'll give me direct light and I don't need a resistor for it. That might be the way to go. See, these are between these are 3 volts. What are those resisted to? That is the question for the flashing boards. I don't know. I could do. I mean, that would be easy. I could put them right in there. Boom, 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 boom. Just 4 of them, and I got plenty of them. I think that's what we're going to do. Well, let me come back. I got to do some calculations to make sure it works. I got to find out what these were. Somehow. And make sure it'll work. Little warm lights. I got plenty of cool lights. 1, 2, 3, 4 packs of 10. So yeah, we're gonna do that. That's what we're gonna do. These are a forward voltage of 3 to 3.2. And I think that's similar with all white bulbs. So we're going to find out. But instead of you being here watching me do calculations, that really bites. But the one thing, this is the bad one, right? Let's make sure we figure out what's the bad one. I think so. Yeah, it's got that half. Your garbage. you I'll just keep for some other thing. The other lighthouse, all three of these. I think in the long run, this is probably how I should do it because it's so much easier, especially having the two halves separate. And I never have to worry about alignment. I can take this SMD and just stick it right there and glue it down, stick one there, glue it down, bring them together. Hook them to the board. But I think what they're, this one, the wire will be long enough I could hook right to the board. This one here, I mean, those wires go quite long. We're definitely going to do that. That's definitely what's going to happen. And I'm going to go grab two right now. And the nicest thing is I don't have to resistor them. And they're actually the perfect size. That's kind of why I bought a lot of these, and I bought like flashers for the other kits, like the Reliant and stuff, because I don't know if I got a board for that, and I don't think I'm gonna get a board for that. I don't know, I might have. I don't remember what my lighting kits I got for. I don't think I got one for the Reliant, but I think what I'm gonna do with the Reliant is I'm just gonna use, I have flashing SMDs. Since it's a smaller ship, I got these, and I'll just run those, and if you chain them, and the only thing with that is I might have to cut this resistor off for that situation, because if I'm running it in series, and what's their forward voltage, does it tell you? Pre-wired for 9 volts, so he's not going to tell you, but I'm going to say they're probably 3 volts. I can do the calculations for, two of them. I might eventually order another board from Gary just to get a basic board for that. I don't know if I did or not. Got one for Franklin. Oh, no, I did for the B. I did for the Reliant. Got one for the C, the D, the B, Franklin. JJ product. But I could always, if you look at 369, I can only hook three LEDs to it, and then I'm getting above 9 volts. And it's going to have the red flashes, so I might, it might be just smart just to order a board for that. But what I was thinking for some of those is, if I just need 2 flashers, even just 3, but since there's going to be up and down, so there's 4 right there. There's always one on the top of the saucer and always one on the bottom of the saucer, so anyway, that's what I got these for, but they'll work for other reasons too. Star Wars ships and stuff like that. But that was my thought with those, is I could just run some in series. That way they all flash together. But the Reliant would probably have 4, unless it's tight enough that I could just have one LED to blast it. I haven't opened that kit. It's smaller size, unless I can do that. Or run a fiber optic. Even with the SMDs, these are a little bit bigger. I could have that sitting there and blast in 2 fiber optics, so I could always do that too. But I think it's just easier just to get one of his boards. Even though he doesn't make a Reliant board, I can always just get, a basic Enterprise TOS, which would work. It would have the same, as long as it has the same parts, like the amount of navigation and all that, and it would work. Because I did I think for the Enterprise C, I just got his Enterprise D lighting kit or something. I don't remember if there was a specific lighting kit for the D, but pretty much the C would be, it's pretty much the same ship. as far as layout and the nacelle. So that's what I did. The Franklin, I just went and got a TOS one, you know, because it has the yellow and the orange, and I can just switch colors of bulbs how I want. So anyway, I'm rambling. Let's make sure we're in the right voltage, and I will be back later when I figure all this out. See you soon. Well, welcome back. That's definitely the way I'm going. I'm going with the SMD LEDs in these for the flashers. The Lighthouse LEDs fell in the same voltage range, so that the control board will, since it has resistors on it, the flashers throughout the ship you didn't need to add a resistor to. The only ones you had to do is for the navs, for the red and the green, you had to put 100 ohms resistor on those. That was the same with the refit, except for the white. But the red and the green, you had to put a different resistor on. But since there is no white flashing navs, unless I would run, you know, there are these two lights up in the upper and lower here on the ship that I could attach to the red and green nav lights, so they all flash like the refit does. It has one here that flashes, and then two in the back on the top. On the bottom, I don't think it has anything. It just has a single one up front, and if I remember correctly, yeah, it just has the two single lights. But I think the back top has two whites. Yeah. I could always do that and add that to the board, since, you know, it worked on the other ship. It should be able to handle those as well, you would think. But those didn't need resistors. And that's kind of an idea. I could always put an SMD or a regular LED in there. Run two, and then there would be four, because there's some on the top and bottom. And that would kind of be neat to have those flash with the red and the green, or these, and then these two little ones flash. But I never seen that on the ship. Never seen it do that on the ship. They just kind of have a constant white. But that would kind of be a good idea, to be honest. And I could easily just take an SMD LED there and there and tie that in with it. Because if this is the exact same flashing board I had in the other, and since it's only running 1, 2, 3, 4, or the fast one, which is the same board, you just adjust the speed of how it flashes. That's running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus I put a 7th one on the lower, on the hull, on the bottom. And on the refit, the flashing ones are running, flashing boards running fast flashing. It's running one on the bridge, one on each nacelle, and one in the belly. So it's running 4. The other one's running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it should be, it would be able to do that. And you know what? I mean, it might not be in the TV show, but to me, if something happens on one ship, it should happen on the others. You know, it's like cars, you know, even though they change them throughout the years, they have some type of consistency, especially when it comes to like a safety thing, which what the strobes and navs are supposed to be. So the refit and the A, I imagine, I know the D and the E has it up front. That one single beacon that flashes. Why wouldn't this? You know, I mean, I guess you could say it's the NX-01 and it's, you know, an experimental ship, but that would look really, really cool if those flashed with those in a slow flash. That would tie in with, you know, the refit.